Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. One of the most beloved and successful musicals of all time, Fiddler on the Roof, is returning to Broadway, starring Danny Burstein as Tevye. Under the direction of Tony Award winner Bartlett Sher, it will open at the Broadway Theatre on December 20th. And we drop by the rehearsal studio to meet the company and bring you a sneak peek.
If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a biddy rich, yiddle diddle deedle diddle man, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof and real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going up and one even longer coming down. And one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can. And each loud would land like a trumpet on the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a biddy rich, yiddle diddle deedle diddle man.
Today, thank you for opening your rehearsal room. It's 2 weeks in, right?
Yeah, well, you know. That's why it's fairly informal. I've staged most of the first act on my first draft. So I'm kind of still piecing it together from there. So it's fun.
Well, this was beautiful for us. Tell me why you wanted to direct Fiddler on the Roof. What a perfect blend for director and piece.
Oh, yes. Well, as I said before, it's a little bit of a conversation. I mean, I think this happens to a lot of people. It's a little bit of a conversation with my father. Because my father was born in Lithuania in 1920. I'm a little older than I look. And he came over in 23 when he was very little and was extremely assimilated. So we didn't grow up in a Jewish household. And so it's always been in the back of my mind. I have all the photos, I have the pictures from the Tzeitel, I have everything. And my grandmother lived in the United States for 70 years and spoke 5 languages and never learned to read or write. So I kind of find my way back to it initially in very personal terms, and then also on political terms. I think that the basic story is one which I think resonates from within the Jewish tradition and then without in a very profound way. And at a time when all of those questions are so polarized, it felt like if we could connect them in terms of the real struggles that all different groups have, whether they're leaving or staying or whatever, that would be kind of great.
I mean, this is a very new experience for me. It's my first time on Broadway, actually, as a choreographer. And Bart came to me, spoke about this piece. I immediately said yes. He said, don't you want to think about it? I said no. I can feel an immediate connection. I was born in Jerusalem, started dancing with the folk dancing. That was the way I got into dancing. Then went into contemporary dance. But this piece, I feel an immediate connection. I feel that my vocabulary of movement can, really fit in. I love the music. I think the music is amazing. And I have to say now, when we started working in the studio and I'm seeing the cast, every day I feel in awe. I feel privileged to be here. I have to say the cast is amazing. The level of skill and talent is just, I'm really, really amazed every day. So I feel pretty excited and lucky to be here.
What's it like being here now with this beautiful new production being put together by Bartlett Sher?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to be at rehearsals because fortunately, another show of mine is in rehearsal, Rothschild & Sons. So I haven't been here, and today was the first time I saw the results of the rehearsal. And between what Bart Scher is doing and Ted Sperling doing, I thought, oh boy, am I in good hands, you know? Yeah.
But you were there for the audition process. What a beautiful cast you put together for this production.
The cast is, that's a good word for it. It is a beautiful cast, especially the girls.
But then, of course, there's your Tevye and Danny. I mean, talk about Danny Burstein.
Well, when we invited Bart to be our director and he accepted, he said, and I want Danny Burstein for Tevye, and we thought, wonderful. I had just seen him in Cabaret, and I thought he and the woman he was playing opposite were the best things in it. They were so touching, so real, and that's what we need for Tevye, somebody real and touching. Also, Danny has a lovely sense of comedy. Yeah.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, you know that I'm still very young. Please, take your time. Up to this minute, I misunderstood that I could get stuck for good. Dear Yente, see that he's gentle. Remember, you were also a bride. It's not that I'm sentimental. It's just that I'm terrified.
I literally come to work every day and feel like I'm in a dream. I mean, I have scenes with Danny Burstein, Jessica Hecht. I'm in a dream. It has to be.
Your callback in your audition, was it for Bart and Sheldon?
Yes. So it's very funny. It was like an impossible call to get to be at an audition here. It was very small. It was very closed. I wasn't called. I was not being seen. I did the dance lab because I wanted to work with Chava, our amazing choreographer, and went to that audition. And then they were having us sing when we were there because I think they were trying to see who could sing, who would be possible, who looks right for the show. And once I sang for them, Bart came to me a few minutes later and he was like, so would you be interested in reading for Chava? And I was like, yes, I would. I would be there. When is it? And so I came back the next week and I read for them and sang, and Sheldon was there and he told me he liked my hat and I almost died. And then right next to me. It's good.
When they announced this revival 2 or so years ago, I was like, oh my god, I have to be a part of it. And so to actually be here and to have won the role is beyond belief. It's thrilling.
What was your final audition like, and how did you find out you got it?
Well, so I went in for the first time very early in the process, and then it took 2 months to go in the second time. I know. And after that time, I sort of had a feeling, and I called my agent. I was like, I think I got it, but just stay tuned. And then 2 days later, we had a mix and match with Mel and Al, and the three of us sang together. And Sheldon at the end was like, that's it, send him on the road. And I was like, and a couple hours later, we all got the call.
That is amazing. And Sheldon was in the room.
He sure was. To sing, my favorite lyric of all time is playing with matches, a girl can get burned. Nothing is more and to get to sing that for Sheldon was I'm such a musical theater geek. What a dream, yeah.
This show means so much to me. And I have such a long history of wanting to do this show. First being exposed to it at age 7 or 8 in a dinner theater in Delaware with my family. And then also the personal connection I have to it in terms of my family coming from the shtetls of Eastern Europe at that time. And discovering my great-great-grandfather writing a book about his experiences in Yiddish and having it translated to English. So this show is very much in my blood and in my bones, and I feel it's really meant to be.
It must be great to look back at your family history that now you can put into your work here in this production.
Absolutely, and be able to examine it through that lens. And also, when this was announced about 1.5 years ago, I was sitting on the couch and I turned to my girlfriend and I said, I'm going to play Perchik in Fiddler on the Roof. And she goes, okay, go ahead. See what you can do. And then here we are. It all worked out. And so that's even more of a thing that it really feels meant to be.
Yente the Matchmaker?
Yes. I relate to her in many ways. She is never without humor, even when she's berating people. And that's kind of the way I look at life. Everything is absurd, so therefore you better be laughing or you're going to spend your whole life on a couch.
I love Lazar Wolf. What a great role. What's it like learning him so far?
It's been great. It's been great. I've just gotten sort of huge with it immediately, and I think we'll probably find some variants, some levels to it. But right now, Bart is like meat. He's a meat man. It's heavy. It's because I came to the idea of, do I have to be this sort of like old frail guy? But it's really not about that. He's just not ultimately that desirable a guy.
Exactly.
So it's difficult for me, obviously, because
The Chaim, what a great number.
Yes, I know. I'm so excited. I want to get off book for it.
This show is deeply personal to me. It's the story of my family background. My ancestors are from Eastern Europe, Russia, the Pale of Settlement. And I got the opportunity to go there this summer and discover the Shtetlach, the shtetls of the area in modern-day Belarus, Lithuania, Ukraine. I went to the areas where Sholem Aleichem wrote the Tevye stories, which are the basis of Fiddler. So I feel fueled, for the next, hopefully, long time of this run. Yeah.
Taking on this role, what a gorgeous role.
Yeah, this role is so beautiful. I get to get everything I want and sing about it. It's like the most joyous song written for the musical theater, and it's just such a beautiful role, and I'm so blessed to have an incredible Tzeitel who feels the role so deeply and personally. We've been connecting really well so far. Hopefully that'll continue.
Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, God took a Daniel once again, stood by his side, and miracle of miracles, walked him through the lion's den. Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, I was afraid that God would frown, but like he did so long ago in Jericho, God just made a wall fall down. When Moses softened Pharaoh's heart, that was a miracle. When God made the waters of the Red Sea part, that was a miracle too. But of all God's miracles, large and small, the most miraculous one of all is that out of a worthless lump of clay, God has made a man today.
To be able to be in, we're all pinching ourselves going, guys, we're in Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway. So it's an honor beyond belief. I can't even stand it.
Playing this role.
Yes.
Tzeitel, the oldest.
Tzeitel, the oldest. And for me, it's actually also deeply personal because I played Hodel in the West End revival in 2007 and 2008 at the Savoy. And so how Sunrise Sunset to be now graduating to the oldest daughter and get to tell this family's story from a different daughter's perspective. So such an honor.
You all look like sisters. Jessica looks like your mom. Danny looks like your dad.
We know. We actually, even before we all met, we were like, this is kind of crazy. And actually, Samantha and I have several times been mistaken for each other long before we were ever cast. And actually, I have to say, the alchemical relationships were almost instantaneous. And the daughters have been hanging out and getting to know each other for a while now, but it's really, really magical and special, and this focus that we're using in the production on the relationships is already coming through in the real life ones as well.
What has it been like for you working on Fiddler?
Oh, it's been thrilling because first of all, as you know, I don't do musicals usually, so to be exposed, first of all, to this world, which is the talent level, this is a terrible thing to say, but usually in a play, you're rehearsing and you think, oh, they're a really good actor, but this is like, they're a really good actor. They're an amazing singer. Did you see that person dance? Are you out of your mind? That's like the most, so each day this world is being revealed to me, and its complexity and its tradition is kind of mind-blowing to me. So that's been thrilling. Yeah, and so I constantly say, does everybody sing like that? does everybody know all of the, and the answer is yes.
Sing in this.
I sing, and I sing, I sing in synagogue, I sing in my choir. So it's a certain kind of folk singing or traditional singing that is very accessible to me, and it's what my characters sing, so it's a very perfect match. But I'm not going to be revealed as Donna Marie.
We found out about this a couple of days ago, and Bart said, look, in general, let's not make a big deal of it. We'll stand in front of music stands and we'll do it, but we'll give them a taste of what it is. And I hope that came across. It's a beautiful, beautiful show. It was really special to have Sheldon here, who's, a hero of mine, an idol of mine, and who I've wanted to work with my whole life. I think it went pretty well.
It went really well today.
Mark, did you hear the question mark at the end?
It was perfect. It was flawless. Taking on Tevye, was this a dream role you always wanted to do at some point in your career?
No. I had never even pictured myself playing Tevye. Maybe it's something that you think about as you get older, but I thought, I'm too young. Usually it's cast with somebody who's about 70. But actually I am the right age for it. It's conceivable that I would have kids, my wife and I, contemporaries, would have kids that are 8 years old and 10 years old. Having said that, now that it's in my hands, it's a great role. I'm learning it all over again. I did it years ago when I was 21 with Theodore Bickel and at the Muni in St. Louis. And he was wonderful and certainly taught me a lot about the role, and I didn't even know it. So it's really been an amazing learning process so far, and I think it'll only get richer and deeper.